An athlete name on a product feels like instant magic, but the reality hits hard. Fame sparks the first click, not the second sale. I learned that growing up in Manchester, watching friends chase player merch that fell apart after 2 washes. On Kickin Riches, we studied dozens of player launches. The pattern is clear. Celebrity opens the door, operations keep it open. Here is the kicker. In online fashion, only about 1 in 4 buyers ever comes back. That means 3 out of 4 try once and disappear. And many athlete licensing deals even stop when the career stops. A standalone brand can live on, but only if it sells on merit, not stardom. That means real product, fair price, smart distribution, and service that actually helps. Quick value for you today. We will compare licensing versus building a real operating company. Then we will break down product and price. We will map distribution, repeat purchase, and drop timing. We will expose the hidden costs in returns. We will cover community, legal traps, and finish with a simple scorecard you can use to predict who will win. Would you automatically buy a product just because your favorite player launched it? Why or why not? Stick with me. First up, the 2 roads every player faces: rent the name or build the machine. 2 roads to revenue. 1. License your name. 2. Build a company. Both look easy on a highlight reel. Both hide hard costs. Licensing means a partner handles design, production, and distribution. You collect a royalty, often around 10 to 15%. Cash shows up faster, risk is lower, but control is thin, and most deals end when the career ends. Yes, there are unicorns. Roger Federer's Uniqlo deal was reported around $300 million. That is not the norm. For most players, the checks slow when the spotlight fades. Building in-house flips the script. You hire a small team, own inventory, and fight for shelf space. You carry the risk of bad styles and late shipments, but you keep the margin. If you get it right, a brand can outlive the playing days. Some manufacturers even offer equity instead of a high royalty. Sometimes taking a lower royalty or giving a slice of equity in exchange for global distribution is the smart play. Reach matters more than ego. My rule of thumb: money now or margin later. Choose eyes wide open. Either way, the brand must earn trust on product first. And that is where we go next: why quality and identity beat a famous logo. Big name, cheap fabric, flimsy stitching. I have held those shirts. Fans notice. They forgive once. They do not forgive twice. The best athlete brands do not look like merch tables. They feel like real fashion lines. Industry voices back this up. Business of Fashion noted that new athlete-backed brands create full collections instead of simple logo tees, and they do not lean on the athlete's name to drive sales. Rock Nation's Safraz Ali put it bluntly: the most successful labels are the ones you find without even knowing a sports star is behind them. That is the goal. Win on design, win on comfort, win on fit. Start tight. Pick one hero product. Maybe it is a perfect training short or a clean everyday hoodie. Ship that, learn, improve. One great item builds trust far faster than 10 average ones. Expect years, not months. Collections take time. Materials take testing. Sizing takes feedback. I have seen brands that hid the celebrity and led with quality. Those are the ones still standing 2 seasons later. Fame opens eyes. Quality closes the cart. Price is the next hurdle. Overcharge and you burn goodwill. Undercharge and you signal junk. Let's break the price trap. Price cuts both ways. Too steep and shoppers balk. Too cheap and they smell corners cut. The sweet spot is value that feels fair beyond the fan base. Data backs it up. Analysts show poor pricing alignment drives customers away. In fashion, that pain shows up in repeat rates. Many direct-to-consumer apparel brands see fewer than 3 in 10 buyers return, and price is a big reason. Let's run simple numbers. Say you sell a hoodie for $60. Cost of goods is $20. Freight and duties take $5. Payment fees and pick and pack eat about $3. You put $8 into marketing. Before returns, you sit near $24 of gross margin. Now add returns. If 1 in 5 comes back, you refund the sale, pay return shipping, and restock. Your real margin can slide to under $10 fast. That is not a business. That is stress. Fix it with value. Improve fabric, add a lifetime stitch guarantee, bundle a wash bag, or hold price and launch a limited color that justifies a premium. Even when the price lands right, you still need a way to move units. Distribution decides that. Let's get it on the shelf. Great gear with no shelf is just inventory in a dark room. Customers need an easy path to buy, or hype dies on the vine. Big brands have muscle, startups do not, so you borrow reach. A recent case outside sport shows the playbook. Stanley tumblers went viral on social, then their Amazon presence scaled the win. Their pages showed over 100,000 reviews with a score around 4.8 stars, and landing on bestseller lists introduced the product to millions of casual shoppers. That is social proof at work. It is also distribution doing the heavy lift. For a player brand, that could mean partnering with a retailer, a marketplace, or a global distributor. Sometimes the smartest move is accepting a lower royalty in exchange for global placement and reliable restocks. "My followers will buy" is a myth without targeting, traffic, and stock where people already shop. Choose channels that fit your price and story. Direct-to-consumer for control, marketplaces for scale, wholesale for speed and legitimacy. Build a mix, test, and double down on what moves. Now that you can be found, the real question is staying power. Can you turn first-time buyers into repeat customers? First sale feels like a party. Second sale proves you have a brand. Here is the tough truth. In apparel, only about 25 to 26% of customers come back. Consumables, like supplements or pet food, often see over 40% repeat. Fashion starts on the back foot. So you design for return behavior. Make reorders easy. Offer size exchanges that feel friendly, not fussy. Launch a simple membership perk for early drops or free repairs. Industry findings also show that when customers do make a second purchase, they can spend up to 3 times more than the first. Earn that moment. Keep emails useful, not spammy. Give a reason to return beyond a player's face. Quick pit stop for the channel. If you are learning from this and want more smart breakdowns of sport and money, tap subscribe and share this with a friend. If you are new to Kickin' Riches, welcome to the squad. Retention is the heartbeat, but you cannot drop new product every day. Too much and you drown your own story. Too little and fans forget you. Let's talk cadence and hype and how to pace releases so excitement builds instead of burns. Scarcity fuels the frenzy, but it can also burn out your buyers. The rhythm of releases matters as much as the product. Look at the tumbler wave. Stanley made a simple cup feel collectible with timed color drops and smart collabs. Limited editions created urgency and exclusivity. They tapped cultural trends like wellness, and then they kept the drumbeat going with new colors and new forms. That is the model. Plan seasons, anchor a few big drops, and weave in small restocks to keep energy steady. For a player brand, tie key releases to meaningful moments. Opening day, a derby match, a playoff run. But control the flood. If you unload too many SKUs, you confuse shoppers and jam your cash in slow movers. If you starve the channel, you create frustration and push people to resellers. Build a calendar, forecast inventory, pre-communicate restocks so fans feel seen. Hype is a spark. Operations are the firewood. After the rush comes the cleanup. Can your team handle questions, defects, and exchanges without draining the bank? Many young brands fail right here. Let's open the books on support and returns. One big sales day looks great until the returns land. Support tickets stack up, cash flies out, margins vanish. Apparel online is especially rough. Recent research shows roughly 24.4% of clothing orders get returned in a typical year. Retailers in the United States lost around $38 billion to returns. Every sendback means refunded revenue, extra shipping, and restocking. Then there are exchanges, size swaps, and damaged-in-transit claims that need real humans to handle with care. Plan for it. Bake a return allowance into your pricing. Set aside a cash cushion so one spike in defects does not crush you. Offer fit guides and clear photos to cut guesswork. Prepaid labels make customers happy, but do the math first. If the economics do not work, switch to a store credit or free exchange policy. I have watched founders think the money in their bank was profit, then watch shipping and returns eat it in a week. Do not be that story. Build systems before you build hype. Service is not a side quest, it is the business. Protect the trust and you protect the brand. Next up, how to grow that trust beyond ads by building a real fan community. Ads fade. People trust people. That is why community turns casual buyers into loyal fans. When folks see peers wearing the gear at five-a-side or posting honest reviews, the message hits harder than any billboard. The data is friendly here. Analysts show that strong brand engagement and personalization increase retention. So act like a human, not a faceless store. Feature fan stories. Reply to comments with substance. Share behind-the-scenes clips of product tests, not just polished shoots. Invite supporters to a pop-up or a charity kickabout. When fans feel ownership, they defend you when supply runs tight or a drop sells out. Beware the opposite. If the brand feels like a cash grab, people push back. Hype without service reads as status signaling. That burns trust fast. Better to underpromise and over-deliver. Reward the early crew with early links, not bots and mystery boxes. Community is your compounding engine. Keep it honest and it pays you back in word of mouth and repeat orders. Even with love from fans, rules still rule. There are legal traps around logos, colors, and sponsors that can shut a brand down overnight. Let's stay out of court. Legal landmines hide in plain sight. Use a team logo or color scheme the wrong way and the whistle blows hard. Courts have recognized that certain school color combinations act like trademarks. In the well-known LSU versus Smack Apparel case, the judges affirmed that the purple and gold pairing identified the school. That logic applies widely. If you sell gear in a pro team's colors without permission, you invite trouble. Then there are sponsor contracts. Category exclusivity is common. If your boot deal bans outside shoe launches and you unveil your own sneaker, that is a breach. Even ad imagery can be an issue. Wearing a uniform or showing league marks often requires approvals you might not have. Solutions exist. Get a clean carve-out clause before you launch. Clarify the categories you can touch, the geographies you can sell in, and the assets you can show. Build original design language so you are not cloning team looks. When in doubt, ask a lawyer who lives in sports IP. Avoiding legal hits keeps your runway long. We have covered the map from launch to logistics. Now let's condense it into a simple scorecard you can use to judge any player brand in minutes. Use this quick scorecard like a brand credit check. 5 boxes. Be honest. 1. Product. Is there a real item with standout quality, not just a logo tee? 1 hero product you would wear or use every day wins. 2. Repeat. Are at least a quarter of buyers coming back within a season, and is there a plan to raise that over time with service and perks? 3. Place. Is there a clear distribution plan beyond social posts, like a retail partner, a marketplace presence, or a strong direct store that actually converts? 4. Money. Is there a cash cushion to handle slow months, returns, and a few bad bets on colors or sizes? If not, the first stumble can be fatal. 5. Story. Can you tell a compelling brand story without saying the athlete's name? Industry leaders say the strongest labels are the ones you discover without realizing a star is behind them. Score it before you buy. Score it before you launch. If it gets 4 or 5 checks, there is a real shot. If it limps at 2, it is a hype trap. Famous opens the door. Operations keep the lights on. Time to land the plane. We covered the full field: license or build, product over name, price that earns trust, distribution that actually sells, hype paced with care, service that saves margins, community that compounds, legal that keeps you clean, and a scorecard to judge the odds. This is how athlete brands win in the real world. Being famous opens the door, but operations keep the lights on. That was true in my own scrappy money days, and it is true here. If you learned something today, hit like and subscribe. Share this with one person who loves the game and dreams of building a brand. Thanks for watching. If you were launching a player brand, what is the one factor you would focus on to make it last?